All right, let's start with a live look out from the Jacksonville Beach Pier here. You can kind of see those rough waves out there. Now I'm going to change the camera over to Neptune Beach, where we can also see more of this wave action. So we have some rough seas out there this morning. We also have crews on the ground that will continue to bring you updates really throughout the day today. Now, Hurricane Erin, as of the 8 o'clock advisory, still a Category 2 hurricane with sustained winds of 100 miles an hour, but it is a massive storm. The tropical storm force winds extend out from the center over 260 miles. That is how big of a storm it is. So we do have tropical storm warnings in effect for the Outer Banks. Conditions could start to deteriorate there by this evening. Also, tropical storm watches and warnings up the coast. Tropical storm watch for Bermuda too, because it is such a big storm. Remember, the cone only shows you where the center of the hurricane is, but there's impacts on either side of the cone there. But it is expected to turn to the northeast and not make a direct landfall. However, again, it's still impacting them and really all up and down the East Coast when it comes to the beaches. We have a high surf today, 7 to 11 feet. That could lead to moderate beach erosion, especially by high tide later on this evening. Also at high tide this evening along the Intracoastal Waterway and some other inland areas, we could have minor flooding. St. Mary's, Fernandina, Mayport, places like that. And of course, the high rip current risk out there today and tomorrow, and I think that could even last into Friday. Here's our wave heights. As of the last check, 24 feet out there in the Atlantic. 5 feet now coming in, but we see this fluctuating between 5 and 6. That's what our buoys are clocking. Our breakers at the beach today, especially later on this afternoon and this evening, between 7 and 11 feet. I think we'll have bigger waves and more powerful waves farther south, places like St. Johns County and Flagler County. But again, that risk for beach erosion exists all up and down the coast at high tide later on this evening. And again, we have that risk of minor flooding, places like boat ramps this evening too. So that's why we have that coastal flood advisory from 5 p.m. until 11 p.m. later on tonight. When it comes to our radar, we have a couple coastal showers out there. We're keeping our eye on maybe a few sprinkles and raindrops for those of you right along the beaches. But besides that, today is breezy and warm with lower overall rain chances. New as of the 8 o'clock advisory, medium chance of development for both of those tropical waves out there in the Atlantic. We're keeping a close eye on them, but I will let you guys know right now, neither of them look very concerning for us. We'll keep a close eye. We'll keep you updated. But meanwhile, do not go swimming today or tomorrow and even Friday. That rip current risk still out there.